You're born with a golden spoon in your mouth. You never have to do anything. You can just sit back and relax and have fun stress free because your father is a powerful man. My grandfather got this a lot when he was young. Today I'm going to give a tribute speech to my grandfather, his early life, his struggle, and his success. So my grandfather, Vedra Singh, in short BNS, which he called himself, was born in New Delhi, India, to a very powerful family. His father was the chief minister of New Delhi, uh, a prince of Patiala, and later was the governor of Rajasthan. So yeah, my grandfather always told me that he had a very luxurious upbringing. I mean, he said it wasn't fair to what all he had in life. A couple of things he had were, he said that by the age of 16, he had like a dozen caretakers assigned to him. He could do anything he wanted, and he was very spoiled. And he said he by the age of 18, he was driving the most expensive cars, had his own private jet, and had the life every kid wanted. While others his age were playing board games, he was drinking tea with Jacqueline Kennedy and Queen Elizabeth II. So his father got a bit scared for him because obviously a kid can't be exposed to so much stuff. So he sent him abroad to study to Germany. So he went to Germany, and this lifestyle didn't stop there, and he messed up, and many people conned him and used him for his money. And he came back to New Delhi and told his father about it, and his father was really angry about it, so he chucked him out of the house. Now, my grandfather overnight was stripped of all his wealth, everything, and he was living off his friend in New Delhi. Now, it's hard for someone who's been brought up like that to suddenly change their lifestyle. He didn't have any friends anymore. No one wanted to know him. He lost his social status, and he realized that he was without his father. He had no personality, so he decided he had to do something with his life. So he started going for job interviews, but no one would give him a job. So he gave up, and one day he was sitting in his friend's house in his room, and his friend's sister came in the room, and she was deciding what to wear for a party that night. And my grandfather advised her what to wear, and it was a really cool combination, and she got a lot of compliments for it. And soon, all her friends came and took fashion advice from my grandfather. So my grandfather realized that he had a talent, or like a certain knack for fashion, and why wouldn't he? I mean, who knew fashion better than he was wearing whatever he wanted, like the best clothes since day one. So he sold his watch, which was the only expensive thing he had left. He took a flight to Germany, which was known for its garment industry at that time. And on the plane, he sat next to. It was a coincidence. He sat next to Mr. Fredby, who owned Hetlage, a departmental store in Germany at that time, which was one of the biggest departmental stores in the world. So my grandfather told Mr. Fredby about his life story. Mr. Fredby saw the potential in his eyes and the fire. So he said, "You go back to India and get me five samples of women's blouse samples, and if they're nice, I'll give you an order of 3,000 pieces." So my grandfather said, "Okay." So he landed, and immediately Mr. Fredby bought the ticket back for my grandfather, and he went back in New Delhi. And he didn't sleep for a week, went from shop to shop, tailor to tailor, made those pieces, came back, presented in front of the board of Hetlage, got the order of 3,000 pieces. Went back to Delhi, started his own garment export house called Fredby Fashions, named after Mr. Fredby, who had given him this opportunity. And in a span of 10 years, those 3,000 pieces became 500,000 pieces monthly, and he became the leading exporter in India. So now he was back in action, his social life was back, everything was back. He was doing very well for himself. However, he made one mistake in his life. He kept all his eggs in one basket. And one day, Mr. Fedby had a heart attack, and Hetlage went bankrupt. And overnight again, my grandfather lost all his business because he only catered to Hetlage. And he started drinking. He got a kidney problem, so he was put onto dialysis. And this is when my father stepped in at the age of 17 and took over the company and somehow managed to keep Fredby afloat. However, Fredby was never the same without my grandfather. Now, my father said that he could never have kept the company afloat without my grandfather's advice. And since I don't have anything to show, because I didn't know I'm going to be talking about him, I've got this little. It's like a tradition where we pass on our business cards from generation to generation. So this is the original business card, which now is in my hands, and soon I will hopefully give it to my next generation. So yeah, I look up to my grandfather. I miss him. He's taught me a lot, and I wish I can be half the man he is someday.